Yo, what's up everybody? Tectone here, and welcome back to another video. Today, we are going to be talking about Zenless Zone Zero. I've made a couple videos already on this game. I'll say so far, I've been enjoying it, but there's a couple things I want to discuss and talk about with you guys on this channel to discuss some of my, critiques of the game. And it's because it is a beta test, there is an option to make these improvements. So I wanted to get a video out to kind of give some of my constructive criticism for the game and what I think the game can improve on. Again, I've been enjoying it, but there is a lot of things that they need to improve on if they want to make a better game, in my personal opinion. Now, the first thing we're going to be discussing is probably my biggest problem with the game so far. I love the combat of this game. I think the combat's really good. It's very interactive, and if you get into the little niches of combat, it can be really fun at times. However, the combat is also easy. Really easy. Just to give an example on how easy this combat is, I'm just going to do a quick little test here. So I'm going to remove my hands from everything except for this mouse right here. You guys see this mouse in my hand? I'm going to hold it and click like this. That's all I'm going to do. I will not click any other buttons. Oh wow, I won. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, hey, look, I'm all for easy combat. I mean, I got no problems with it. Like, the enemy can't do anything. If I click this button, I win. So, oh wow, did you guys know that Navi is coming out? That's crazy, huh? That's actually crazy. I wonder if she'll be any better than Dia. Huh. Yeah, as you can see here, really thrilling combat, honestly. I mean, I'm having a good time. And if I'm having fun, I don't see the problem. So maybe this is actually a non-problem. I mean, I can get other stuff done. I can get work done. I can start taking notes. I mean, hey, maybe this is actually enjoyable. You know what? I actually don't see as much as a problem with this as I did before. I could have written a whole essay in the time it took me to do that one little challenge there. So you know what? Maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was. Now, in all seriousness, this content isn't the hardest in the game. That was level difficulty 30 on the VR trials, which is the max level which I can do for right now. But still, the fact that I can beat that without clicking more than one button really speaks to how easy the game is. Don't get me wrong, I like easy. I like easy games. I'm genuinely bad at video games. But when the game literally becomes cookie clicker combat, I mean, this just isn't fun. Yes, I know that's a very simplistic take on the combat, but that's just how I experience things in the game. You may have a different experience, and that is fine. Again, it's not that I dislike the combat, I just find it easy, but we'll see, maybe that changes late game. Now, moving on to my next big problem with Zenless Zone Zero, it's the resin system. So in this game, you have this thing called battery charge, and to get battery charge, it works the same way as Genshin, where your only ways to get battery is through waiting or spending film, which is this game's version of Primogems or Stellar Jades, to get more battery charge back. Now, it's a very simple system. I don't think I have to explain it because you should already understand if you've played the other two gacha games. But my problem with battery charge in this game is that it's used for everything. Everything in this game uses battery charge. There is nothing you can do in this game that does not take battery charge. All these commissions, the story commissions, the main commissions, battery charge. Side missions, 40 battery charge. Rally commissions, battery charge. And these are the same resources that you use to grind characters. To get materials in this game, you have to fight these enemies, and you can basically choose which enemies you want to fight, and they'll cost a certain amount of battery charge to fight them. So for the silver cards, it's going to be 10, and then for the gold cards, it's going to be 20 battery charge. So theoretically, if you just needed a ton of money, a ton of boss mats to upgrade your characters, you need five golds. That's going to cost you a total of 100 battery charge. That is half of your entire supply for the day gone on one run. If you do 2 of these right here, you're done for the day. That's all you could do. You get 5 minutes of content and then you have to log off. There is nothing in this game you can do without battery charge. Now, I should quickly preface that this technically is 240. It is not 180 because if you go to the coffee shop here, you can actually resupply for an additional 60 battery charge. So technically this is 240, not 180, but it's still the same thing. 60 more is nice, but it doesn't really change anything. They really desperately need more content in the game that just doesn't require resin, because you can walk around the overworld. There's really no quests that you can do. You see these little blue exclamation points here. They all lead to quests back in the hollow zone, which is where you do all your quests. So no matter what, yes, you can get the quest, but you can't actually complete the quest unless you have any battery charge. Not to mention the complete and utter lack of materials you get from these runs. I mean, you get bare scraps. I'm talking bottom of the barrel scraps. You get absolutely nothing for value from these. Just to get an idea of what I'm talking about here, let's look at my Reina quickly. She is level 39, and I need to get her to level 40. Currently, I have 10,000 out of 1,600 EXP. So that means I need a little bit more of these senior investigation logs. These are the EXP books of the game. So let's go see if I can get some more for her. So these are 4 enemies right here we're going to have to face. That's going to cost me 40 battery charge to fight these 4 enemies to get the EXP I need for Reina. So let's see how much EXP we get from these enemies. So kill a couple enemies here. We play cookie clicker for a little bit. Click the left key a little bit, and we won just like that. Now from that, now keep in mind, this cost me 40 of my charge. It got me 4 and 4. So we go to my agents, we go to Reina. Because I'm already halfway through the level 39, I will actually get it from using all these purples and the blues. But if we calculate this in total here, for the blues, I get 600. For the purples, you get 3,000. So we do 3,000 times 4 equals 12,000 EXP. And then we do 600 times 4, 2,400. So we do 2,400 plus 12,000. We get 14,000 EXP from 40 charge a day. You know what that means? For all of that charge, we wouldn't have got a single level. You need 16,000 to go from 39 to 40. For all of that, I wouldn't have got 1 level if I wasn't already halfway there. That is wild. To put that even more into perspective of how bad that is, we already established the most you can get is 14,000 for 1 run. It costs you 40 charge per run. So if we do 240 divided by 40, we get 6. So that means you could do 6 runs total. So 14,000 times 6 gives you 86,000 EXP a day. Now I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't know the exact amount of EXP it takes to get a character from 30 to 40, but I can guarantee you 86,000 is not enough to get you 10 levels. So for a full day worth of charge, you get maybe 6 or 7 levels. That is absurd. I mean, that's just a lot of math cracking. There's a chance that the level caps aren't as high in this game. I don't know the exact level caps, to be completely frank. So there's a chance that the level cap only goes to like 70 or 60, and that may make it a tiny bit better and a little bit more justifiable to cost so much, because it does cost an absurd amount just to level up a single character. Anyways, moving to the next topic of discussion. Now this one is a pretty big one, and I think about everybody I've talked to who plays this game in the beta test has had this problem, and that is with these TV sections. These sections, to say the least about them, they really interrupt the gameplay, and you end up spending about 80 to 90% of your time running around a Bangaboo aimlessly, clearing things you just don't really care about. These sections are somewhat lacking in color. They're very dark, very bland. There really isn't much inspiration, I feel, just in these sections in general. Sometimes they'll give you these like interesting puzzles, which can be kind of fun, I guess. They're not my thing usually, but they can be kind of fun from time to time. But all around, I mean, moving around a little Bangaboo on the TV screen for 80% of your game just isn't very fun. Instead of doing the combat of the game, which, although it's easy, it is the main highlight of the game, and it's why I would say at least maybe 70 to 60% of the player base is playing the game, is because of the combat. So to take away that combat, to do whatever this is, move around a Bangaboo on a TV screen, it's just not for me. It's not for me. It's very mini-game-ish. It's somewhat Genshin-esque, I guess. Having those silly little mini-games that you play for no particular reason other than to get a couple of gems. It's kind of similar to that. Now, moving on from that, I would like to talk about one non-issue that seems to be an issue to some people, but this to me is like the biggest non-issue of all time, and I don't even know why we're discussing it because it just feels so pointless. It's the discussion of censorship in this game. This seems like such a pointless discussion to me, but it seems to be so frequent, mainly on Twitter, which it's Twitter. But the discussion is mainly centered around this character, Nicole, who got her tits nerfed from beta 1.0 to 2.0. I mean, guys, it's a beta. I'm sure they changed other characters' looks. It wasn't just hers. And let's just say it, all they really did was give her a bra top. Shit is just not that deep, man. It's really not that deep. And we have people, oh my god, she's censored. It just really isn't like that serious. I do agree with the sentiment that censorship is bad in video games. I just don't think it applies here. I mean, this is by far the most degen game that HoYoverse has come out with. That character literally proves it. I mean, there's no other character they made that is as degen as that character right there. If you want something that's 16 plus, I mean, you literally got Bangaboos taking shits on the side of the street. I mean, what else do you want? Anyways, with that small little random tangent out of the way, let's get into more core problems of the game. Now, so from my experience, the rewards in this game are kind of okay. The thing with this game is that there's no system similar to Genshin and Honkai that is like an adventure rank rewards. There's nothing like that in this game. So you'll notice that there is somewhat a lack of rewards. We do have an event right now, which I'm not sure if is it just a beta event or if it's going to be permanent, called the Mr. Hello Savior event, which does give us some daily tasks which we can accomplish for 1 free wish a day, which is really awesome, and I do like this. Same thing with the weekly goals. You actually get 1 free 10 pull a week by doing this, but the thing is, it's an event, and it's not permanent, unless it is permanent. The thing is, on this, it says 22 days remaining down here, but it could be permanent once the game comes out, and I really hope this is permanent, because these are great rewards for any player, but because I'm unsure of it, I have to say the rewards right now feel a little bleak. Obviously, because we're in beta, we've been getting a ton of like supply packs and stuff. I doubt this is going to be in the normal game. I doubt they're just going to be giving out free 5 stars when the game comes out. I just don't see that realistically happening. So all my agents have basically just been given to me by HoYoverse because I'm in the beta and I'm a YouTuber. That being said, we should just have access to every damn character in the game. I don't know why we don't. If you want people to be able to test and make videos about your game when the game comes out, you should really give them access to every character. But that aside, the rewards from a person looking in from the outside and not getting those free things from HoYoverse are pretty bleak. Something I've noticed that with this game is that you don't get many ways to replenish your resin. Now, obviously in Genshin and Honkai, you have like your fragile resin, or in Honkai, I forget what it's called. But in this game, you get like almost nothing. There is something you get in this game to restore your battery charge. I can't remember the name of the item for the life of me, but basically it restores, I believe, 100 battery upon use. But so far, by the time I've hit level 31, I've only got 2 of those. I've only got 2 opportunities to replenish my battery charge using something similar to fragile resin, which is kind of absurd. It's almost like they put a hard cap on how much you can play the game in a day, which is fine. I don't mind that too much because I have too many gacha games right now anyways since this game came out. So I don't mind that, but for most players, it's going to really irritate some people, I think, how much you can't really grind the game. You can't drop hours and hours into this game a day. It's going to be one of those games where you can only put maybe 1 or 2 a day and then you have to log off, which sucks for some players. I don't personally mind that as much, but I could definitely see how that would annoy some people. Anyways, guys, that about summarizes all my critiques that I have for Zenless Zone Zero. Let me know what you think so far as a viewer, or if you are a beta tester, I'd be interested to hear any of your guys' thoughts so far. Maybe I'm not far enough in the game. I'd love to hear anything you guys have to say. So leave me any comments down below with your own opinions on the game. But for today, that's going to be all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'm going to see you all in the next one. Peace.